Bam! Fine hooligans. Walking Dead Wednesday. Let's do it. Now, might be a little different right now. Got the new bookshelf and everything, got that all set up. So I figured record a video in this space. It's the first time, so I'm still gonna get the lighting and everything all like figured out properly. But yeah, figured it's a new cool little spot to film videos and everything. Got all the figures on this side, some books. Either way, let's get to it. This week's episode was super interesting, at least for me. Seeing certain things between, especially one scene with Lydia and Alpha, it shows that she, in a way, still thinks she has this power over people. But I think it's, in a way, it's showing us that, like, even though she feels she has this power over people, it's slowly being taken away from her, maybe without her realizing it. Part of me kind of felt like Daryl was on his own, kind of like, in a way, like a Carol mission. It just felt like he wasn't really thinking about the consequences or the safety of others or whatever have you, when he's just trying to find another opening into the cave to find Magna and find Connie. But in doing so, he almost puts himself at risk of getting caught, like right away. Like if Alpha and everyone else had just like literally peeked over that edge, Daryl's caught. In a way, it's almost, we see how Daryl's reacting to Carol acting in that same way. But then in this episode, he basically, at least I feel, he's mirroring her like choices. We see that the Whisperers have actually dug tunnels into Alexandria and Beta pops up. And honestly, like this whole scene with Ryan Hurst going through like the house and everything, it felt really cool because again, like I said with last season and even the last half, there was a lot of times where it really felt like a true like horror movie, or you know what I mean? And this was one of those times, like seeing Beta, crawl through the shadows in a way, like through people's houses to slit their throat and then kneel to wait for them to rise again. That was just such like a cool, badass, and just like, I don't know. I don't really know how to describe it because it's something you don't really expect to see. Most people would like slit somebody's throat or stab them and then they're off to the next. With him, he just sat and he waited for them to rise again. And I don't know, I thought that was a really, really cool scene. Judith, I feel, is one of the most important characters in a way, because just from her being a kid and just kind of like, I don't know, in a way, not being like, oh, you're a villain, so I already don't like you. With Negan, she talked to him and everything. You saw that kind of softer side of him coming out. And I feel like she had the same effect on Gamma, Mary. And it just, with that, I think it's going to be that thing where Judith is going to be the key, or at least one of the keys, to people coming together again and not just immediately labeling somebody and then disposing of them. With Rosita and Gabriel, I feel Rosita, she's lost a lot of people. She's seen some crazy shit. So is Gabriel. But like with Rosita, when now she's a parent and she knows she has this child, depending on her. She's not just this reckless, angry, gonna rush into a fight and like see what happens kind of person. Now she's finding herself freezing and not knowing how to react because she's instantly thinking of Coco. With Gabriel, we see that more, he's not running into battle, but he's willing to go and shed blood or possibly put himself on the front line to protect Rosita and Coco. And I think that's gonna end up not really helping him in the end. The fight with Alpha and Daryl, oh my goodness, I'm not even gonna lie, I thought that was it. I thought we were losing Daryl, folks. I'm not gonna lie to you. The man got hit pretty bad. Pretty bad. You get stabbed in the femoral artery, right, up on your legs. Not great. But through their fight, we actually we see that Daryl isn't going to give up. It doesn't matter if he has a fucking knife in his leg that he knows he's probably gonna bleed to death. He's willing to fight. He's not just going to give up and let the walkers have him. And that's when we get the scene with Lydia, where you hear Lydia say, "I didn't come for you." And that is a really important moment in Lydia's thing, because she finally has come to terms and has like realized that Alpha is wrong. And she's not like Alpha. She's not like the Whisperers. It's like how she said with Daryl and everyone at those communities, they're human. They're still human, and they showed her that she can be human too. It doesn't have to be the way the Whisperers have it. And you know, as far as like this kind of world that The Walking Dead takes place in, I feel that is kind of like a coming of age moment, you know what I mean? When she like comes into her own person, because for so long she was just following the Whisperer way. And a lot of people will do that. They'll have a leader or somebody that's sort of influential and they follow their way, instead of understanding that, like, you know, this world still does have many philosophies and ways to go about the world, you know what I mean? Next week, the Whisperer War will officially begin. Hopefully. I don't know, that's what the preview's showing. We're seeing the first battle, really. This wasn't a battle or anything. This was kind of like a little appetizer fight leading up to shit. Now we're gonna get crazy. I'm really curious to see what's gonna happen with Alpha, because when you have somebody as good as Samantha Morton in this role, you don't want to just, you know, kill her off really quick. But Alpha's story does not end great. It just doesn't. And I'm just very curious as to how that's gonna end. I think it'd be cool if they gave Carol that moment. Honestly, it sucks to say, but even if that was Carol's kind of goodbye on the show, like, she finally gets that revenge on Alpha, but then in the process, you know, she sacrifices herself or something. I think that would be really a poetic way, I guess you could say. And honestly, like, look, a lot of those Whisperers, it's gonna be like the Saviors. They lose their leader and they have no idea what to do anymore. So, you know, we're just gonna have to see what happens. Thank you so much for tuning in to Walking Dead Wednesday again. Thank you so much, Fine Hooligans, for tuning in to another Walking Dead Wednesday. Again, apologies if there's anything up with the audio or, you know, the way the scene looks and everything. This is the first time we're recording in this little area, so I hope it works out. If it doesn't, I will hopefully make it work in post. Either way, if you want to get videos early or get some merch, links are in the description. All my quiet kids, freaks, and weirdos, for the love of everybody, keep being weird.